Well, my name's Russel Cook. I'm a financial advisor normally, but a few years ago I got diagnosed with MDS, and as a consequence of that I had a bone marrow transplant. Now, what that did is it kind of motivated me to do something I thought I would never ever do, and when I say never, I really mean never, and that is run the London Marathon. So we're here today to support Alec Holah, who's just finished the London Marathon in a little bit under 5 hours. I have to say I'm a little bit jealous because I would love to do it again. But as a charity, we have a bit of a problem because each year we're reliant very firmly on the generosity of a very small number of people who are A, motivated to fundraise at this iconic event, and secondly, had a running place. We don't get running places. I think the next time we get an opportunity is 2022 or something like that. So if anyone's watching this later on and feels motivated to run a marathon, please come and run for us. You know, we can raise on a single day enough money to run 2, possibly 3 patient meeting days of full forums where we have all the experts, all the knowledge and all the information that everyone needs to deal with this really horrible disease. And it is a horrible disease. I mean, I'm really lucky, I'm fit, I'm healthy. I'm one of the 1 in 10 of MDS patients who was probably fit enough to have a bone marrow transplant and come out of it pretty much smelling of roses. Well, I ran my first marathon in 2013. Actually, I applied for the London Marathon in 2012, but in all honesty, if they'd given me the place, I might well have killed myself by the time I got halfway around. I really wasn't quite fully recovered. But I ran it in 2013, and it was tough going because I'd been ill before the race started. I got to the start line having never run further than 7.5 miles in my life. And a lot of people find that a little bit kind of disconcerting that I agreed to run 26 miles. But I got to the finishing line, and the first thing I did after punching the air when I crossed the finishing line was say, do you know what, I've got to do this again. This was the most enormous ego boost. You know, it's 26.2 miles of people shouting your name out. What else would anyone really want but to be the centre of attraction for, in my case, the best part of 6 hours? Brilliant. So I thought, well, I enjoyed it that much, I've got to do this again. So the following year, I decided I was going to run another marathon. And then I thought, hang on, if I go back to all of my friends, all of my colleagues, and all of my family and say, will you sponsor me all over again to run a marathon? They'll go, actually, Russell, you've already done that. So I thought, well, okay, what is the daftest thing I could possibly muster that will gather people's imaginations? And I thought, well, okay, it's the 3rd anniversary of my 3rd bone marrow transplant. Run 3 marathons. Simple, really. So I ran the Rome Marathon, and then 3 weeks later I ran the London Marathon. That was a little bit painful. And then 6 weeks after that I ran the Edinburgh Marathon, and in between times I got an infection and ended up in hospital. So when I do these sorts of things, it's not easy. It's really difficult. I have to really push myself physically. But having done it, I would want to do it again, and I still want to do it again.
And how difficult or how easy was it to get a marathon place anyway?
Well, I applied through the ballot. The first year I tried, I didn't get a place. The second year I tried, I did get a ballot place. So I was, I think it's something like 1 in 11 people get a ballot place. There aren't that many ballot runners. The majority of them go to the big charities who've supported the London Marathon over many years, if not decades, and rightly so. They should get compensated by, having more people to run. But for a lot of charities, ourselves included, this is our major opportunity each year to get awareness, to get all of our supporters together and enjoy the event. It's iconic in every sense, but it is so difficult getting those running places. And each year we're reliant on word of mouth and a lot of gentle persuasion of people who are already been given opportunities to run, to come and run for us. And we're very, very grateful. And believe me, you know, their generosity is you know, beyond wonderful.
So Russell, you're deputy chair of MDS UK. What is your motivation, or why do you keep doing this?
Well, MDS is pretty rare. When I first got diagnosed, I hadn't actually heard of the MDS charity, so I had nobody to go and ask. My doctor had only ever had one patient in his entire career, and I was it. And quite frankly, I was frightened rigid. The thought that the only cure for me was a bone marrow transplant was pretty frightening. So when I did find out about the charity, which wasn't actually until I was in hospital, got a bit of information, and I thought, well, you know, I really don't want other people going through what I went through. Once you understand what's going on, it just makes life mentally that much easier to understand and to deal with. And I just felt that things that I was put in a position where I didn't have enough information, I would like to be able to put myself in a place where I could give information. And that's really where MDS comes in. It's all about support, it's all about making sure you've got the right information, make the right decisions, and know where to get other help and get experts in the field.